Life is not always black and white in every case. Sometimes there are some gray areas. Apart from that, if I'm saying yes to something, if I'm saying no to something, I'd like to walk you through why I'm saying a yes or why I'm saying a no. So, in respect of this, is it still okay to be friends with my ex? I want to come from this angle.
Jesus, Yeshua, calling on your name, calling on your name. Jesus, Yeshua, calling on your name.
Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me again today. If this is your first time of stopping by, my name is Sophia, and on this channel I talk about faith, lifestyle, relationships, and sometimes I make reaction videos too. If these are the kind of content you like to engage, you're interested in, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on your notification so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be the first to know. So today we'll be talking about a really interesting topic that was an inspiration from a question that was asked. Is it all right? Is it okay for me to still be friends with my ex? Yes, I'm no longer in a relationship with this person, but can we still be friends? Can we stay as friends? Can we keep friendship without relationship? We'll be looking at this. So the first thing I'm going to say here is that your ex is not your enemy just because a relationship with them did not work out or did not lead to marriage. I was talking, I think, a few days to someone, and I said it's not every friend you can marry. Someone can be great at being friends with you, but terrible at being your partner in a relationship, or terrible at being your spouse in a marriage. And so you just realize that before I make the biggest mistake of my life by marrying this person, just because, we are friends, you choose to end things. You choose to break up with them. So relationships don't work out or lead to marriage for several reasons, including good reasons and bad reasons. For instance, a good reason would be that, this person is nice, this person is caring, this person ticks a lot of the boxes for me, but then this person's lifestyle or their purpose or their values are not just aligned to mine. And so mutually we just sit down and talk and say, I don't think we're really going in the same direction. Let's put an end to this. And that settles it. You break up. And then we have, bad cases or bad reasons where maybe a person is toxic, a person is immoral, a person is perverse, a person is unfaithful, or a person is abusive or toxic. And, you don't want none of that. You choose to end the relationship. So relationships end for different reasons, all right? Either on mutual grounds where you just both agree that we can't go in the same direction, your lifestyle is very different from mine. That can put an end to a relationship, but then that does not make that person your enemy. Your patterns or your patterns of living do not just align. Simple. And so if you bump into this person, say at a mall or a random event, it is not out of place to say, hi, how are you doing? And just have small talk with them. If you have healed and moved on past whatever it was, that wouldn't be so hard to do. And so your ex is not your enemy. I just needed to say that as point number one. Your ex is not your enemy just because a relationship with them did not work out. Number two thing I'm going to say is that anyway, if you know me, I'm not a yes and no kind of person, yes and no answer kind of person. For me, I feel like life is not always black and white in every case. Sometimes there are some gray areas. Apart from that, if I'm saying yes to something, if I'm saying no to something, I'd like to walk you through why I'm saying a yes or why I'm saying a no. So in respect of this, is it still okay to be friends with my ex? I want to come from this angle. Now, there are two major perspectives of people in life. That is how people see life, how they live life. Now, the first perspective is called idealism. Idealism has to do with what should be done. the right thing or the proper thing to do. All right. And then we have realism. Realism looks at what is being done. Yes, this is the right thing that should be done, but then what is being done? The right thing for our government to do should be to give us 24 hours supply of electricity. That is the right thing to do. That's the ideal thing that should happen in a nation, right? But then what is our reality? Realism now looks at, we don't have that. We have, power outage, we have a lot of challenges. So that's realism. And that's why most times you can go on social media and you see people, blasting each other in the comment section. That's because most times people fall into these two categories. I'm not saying these are the only two categories, but then majorly people fall into these two categories. You have people that are saying, oh, this is the right thing for the person to do. And then you have a group of people saying, but that is not what is being done. Let's look at reality. Okay. So now we are understanding that we have idealism, the right thing to do, and then we have realism, looking at what is being done. Now, so we have people who are idealists, and then we have people who are realists. Okay, so from an ideal perspective, from an idealist perspective, the right thing to do when it comes to this issue of should I still be in touch with my ex, should I still be friends with my ex, the proper thing to do would be to cut off from an ex. Yes, we have said he or she is not your enemy, but then that does not mean you should keep them close, and then just keep them as close friends, keep having contact with them and all of that. The ideal thing to do, the advisable thing to do would be to cut off from an ex. Now, why do you want to do that? Number one, you don't want to mess things up. This is somebody you've been open to, you've been vulnerable with, you've been intimate with, okay? And already there's a bond, there's a connection or some kind of attachment with this person, all right? They are not like your regular friends. And so in seeking for friendship, can I still be friends with them? You can start getting confused. You can start messing things up because your emotions are not guarded enough. All right, so you don't want to mess things up, and that is why you say, okay, the ideal thing to do would be just to cut off from them. Secondly, you want to respect your new partner and your new relationship, and just avoid a whole lot of avoidable drama or confusion. You don't want that back and forth, like this person is a great person, but I'm still stuck with this other person. So do I choose this person? Do I go back? Ideally, just cut off from this person. Number 3 reason, there was a reason why you left this person in the first place. All right. Now, have you sat down to really think about if you want to go back to whatever you walked away from? Because sometimes leaving a relationship or being separated from a person for a while gives you time and space to think clearly. All right. Now, you are thinking clearly without any sentiment, without any emotion clouding your sense of judgment. Let's say the person is unfaithful or the person is abusive, but at the same time, the person is generous. Being in that relationship, yes, you don't like abuse, you don't like unfaithfulness, you don't like, in fact, you don't like what you hate. Okay, but because the person is very generous, you kind of put up with all of that misbehavior, all of that bad attitude because you were in the relationship. But then maybe one day you found the courage to walk away from that kind of relationship, and and this happens most times when you are out of a situation, you are out of a bad relationship. That's when you begin to know that, man, I was suffering before. Like, how come I was able to endure this? What was I thinking when I allowed this person do this to me? That's because you've stepped out of that space where you were being choked with, a mix of everything. The person is abusive, but is also generous. You didn't know what to think. On one hand, you liked them. On one hand, you stepped out of that space now, and you can think clearly. Now, you wanting to still be friends with this person, you can find yourself, going back into that space of, being confused all over again. So ideally, just do the right thing. Don't keep in touch with it. That's the right or the ideal thing that you would do. Now, talking about realism now, because like I said, there are idealists and then there are realists. Now, talking about realism now, there are people who either kept in touch with their exes after a breakup, or they still keep in touch with their exes and It works. I'm not going to negate that reality. Okay. So there are people who at one point or the other kept in touch. Maybe they just kept in touch for a while and then the thing fizzled out. Or they still do. They are still friends. And the thing is, the relationship works. It works. Now, it could happen that, these two people, maybe they were great business partners. That was where they started from. This person is maybe like a photographer, and then the other person is an event planner. That's how they met. That's how they became friends, maybe on the business level. Okay. But now maybe from friendship, they felt like, okay, we are close, and then let's do this relationship thing. And, relationship did not work out, but they feel like friendship can still continue. And so this photographer has maybe a very big gig that's coming up, and he says, well, Lola is like the best event planner I know. So even though we are no longer in a relationship, I feel that, this is like an opportunity for both of us to have a win-win situation. Let me call her up and, let's win this deal. Let's sign this contract and let's cash out big time. People can keep in touch for that reason, and, it works, or it worked. I have a friend from secondary school, and then one time she was saying that her husband knows one of her exes, and she still talks to the person even up till now. Now, how true is that? I don't know. But then, is it possible? Absolutely, it's possible. But then, looking at things, like I said, ideally, I've given you the perspective of idealism. It is not really safe. It's not proper. And we're going to be looking at a number of questions that you need to ask yourself. Now, we have given you the idealist perspective, and I've also given you the realist perspective. Now, the truth is, not every ex situation ends up badly. Like, not everyone keeping their ex as friends always ends up badly. Like I said, some people kept in touch or still do keep in touch, and it works for them. But then, to be honest, it's just few of those relationships that are actually meaningful. A lot of the time, you just have two people, just having sex and, just really being confused. They don't even know where they are. They don't know what they, things like that. A lot of the time, that's going back to your ex to still be friends. It doesn't end up well. But we have few people that it worked for. So are you willing to, take on this experiment to say, okay, let me just go into this situation and find out if it will work for me? I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if you want to do that. But the truth is, if you are still, at this point saying, I beg, I don't care whatever will happen, I need the friendship of this person, then there are some questions that I really want you to ask yourself. Number one, what is it in this friendship that I'm looking for? What is it in this person that I'm looking for their friendship for? Why do I still want to be friends with this person? So have you sat down to say, okay, I cannot get this friendship anywhere else. It must be this person or nothing. Why do you want to be friends with this person? Think about it. I'm saying this because I have listed out, things that could go wrong. And then at this point, you're like, I still want to be friends with my ex. I'm saying number one question, ask why? What is it about this person? What is it about their friendship that you feel that you cannot get anywhere else? It must be this person. Find out why. Number two, you want to ask yourself, on what level of intimacy will this friendship be established? Friendship is on different levels, okay? And then, like I said earlier, this is somebody you've been vulnerable with, somebody that understands you better than all your other friends, somebody you have probably dived into some deep waters with, and now you're coming back to the shallow side to say, okay, no, we'll just keep things very simple. We're just going to keep things on a professional level. We're just going to keep things on a career level, on a business level. Really, what level of friendship are you looking to establish with this person? What's going to be the measurement of the intimacy? What's going to be the boundary that you set that, okay, we cannot go past this point? You want to ask yourself that question. Number three, you have to ask yourself, what is the assurance that I'll be able to keep things really simple or really straightforward without me falling back into my old familiar feelings for this person? What is the assurance? What is the conviction that you have within yourself, to say that I'm going to guard my heart enough to not, find myself slipping back into the feelings I used to have for this person. There is something the Bible says. It says, can a man scoop fire in his bosom and not be burnt? Sometimes we see the appearance of evil and tell ourselves that it's not evil, it's just the appearance. So I'm not going to flee. Let me just stick around for a while and really see if this thing is going to be evil eventually, or maybe it's just going to be the appearance. The Bible says to flee from the appearance of evil. Now, I'm not saying your ex is evil. I'm saying the circumstances, surrounding this situation can turn out bad. There are a lot of things at stake here, particularly if you now have a new partner or you're in a new relationship. And there's a way intimacy works. Okay. Let's say we have experiences, okay? We have experiences with this person. When you met this person, you were both strangers, but then you got talking, you started to hang out, you went to see the movies, you kept in touch for a while, you took their contact, and days turned into weeks into months, and it began to get really on a personal level. And then the thing is, if you start doing all of these things again, you are going to find yourself having those feelings for this person. So like I said, there's a way intimacy works. Now, there are several experiences you've had with this person, pleasant experiences. There are times we listen to just songs. I'm telling you, songs that maybe you sang with somebody, or songs that the person used to sing, and you can find yourself crying. That's because our experiences translate into memories, and then our memories interact with our emotions. That's why you can hear a song and cry, because the thing is, that song takes you back to that moment back then when certain things happened. That's why we can, look at an old photograph and, we still feel warm on the inside, or you hear a person's voice, or, something from the past just comes up, and you are all mushy, you are warm, or maybe you are teary, things like that, and that's why a lot of people cannot let go of their exes. I mean, the person's picture is still there, the song that they like is still there, the song you both sang and danced to is still there. Now I'm trying to say that you being friends with this person, you end up visiting maybe restaurants that you guys used to hang out and eat, all of those things you used to do, you start doing these things again. What is the assurance that you are not going to slip back into those old familiar feelings for them? I know you're a hard guy, but then hard guys, they cry too. Hard guy, but sometimes your emotions can betray you. Oga, madam, what is the assurance that, while I'm looking to just be friends with this person, what is the assurance that I'm not going to catch those same old feelings that I used to have for them? Then number 4 question you want to ask yourself, what is the disposition of my current partner to this kind of decision I'm about to make? Now, there are certain things we do, that turns a person off, and then we start lashing out on them and saying, oh, you're jealous. You're just being unnecessarily jealous. You're just being unnecessarily insecure. I mean, there's nothing going on. There's no this. There's no that. The truth is, your partner is a human being. There are things we do that just trigger certain responses from people. You're not dealing with a spirit. You're dealing with a human being who has got emotions, who has got feelings. All right. And so there are certain things that we should not even do, because sometimes you see your partner displaying jealousy, or they are being insecure, or they are being angry, and you're like, why are you being angry? Why are you being insecure? Why are you being jealous? They are human beings. That's why they are feeling like that. Okay, so there are things that, wisdom is profitable. Don't do these things at all, so that you don't trigger things that shouldn't even be triggered in the first place. You're on the phone talking with your ex, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you are laughing, giggling. What do you want your current partner to be thinking? How do you want them to be feeling? Yes, you must be able to not just think about yourself alone. And that's why a lot of relationships are just, people not being happy, people pretending to be happy, because it's just one person that is having their way. Now you are the person who is looking to still be friends with your ex. Don't think about yourself alone. Think about your partner. your current partner now, what do you want them to feel? How do you want them to react, to respond when you don't come back on time because you're in a meeting with that person, the person that used to be your partner but is now your ex? What do you want the person to start thinking? They call you, you don't pick up. Their hearts are going to start racing. Oh, I don't know what this person is doing. I don't know where they are at. I don't know what they are talking about. You're just going to put that person in a mess. All right, people don't need to be bad or wicked or evil people to feel a certain way. It's just human nature. That's why you can see even a baby. You see the mother of that baby carrying maybe another baby. Who taught that baby how to be jealous? Jealousy is just inborn. It's something that's innate. And certain things can just trigger it to come up. And the person feeling jealous or feeling insecure is not because they are bad or they are wicked or they are immature. You shouldn't have done that thing in the first place to trigger jealousy in the other person. And so you want to respect your new partner. You want to respect your new relationship. Like I said, the ideal thing would just be to avoid all of this drama, because the truth is, even if the person is saying, okay, I don't really mind, you can, still be friends with your ex, the truth is they are going to be struggling a lot. So number 4 question you want to ask yourself: what is my current partner's disposition to this decision to still be in touch with my ex? Let's be honest, 99.9 partners are not going to be okay with it. And that's because, don't fight with your human nature. Okay, yes, you are a believer, but you are still human. All right, so don't do some certain things that will begin to bring up issues for you. Sometimes we are the one that go looking for trouble, and then when trouble comes up, we start binding and casting. No, you can avoid certain things in the first place. So your partner's disposition to this decision is important. It's possible that you've even sat down to analyze, okay, like I said from the very first question, what is it about this friendship that I'm looking for in my ex? Let's say maybe there is something they used to do for you that you like, that maybe your current partner is not doing. You can teach your current partner to do that thing that you like, and you can do it without even letting this current partner know that this is what Peter used to do for me, this is what Kike used to do for me, this is what Mary used to do, this is how she used to do it. Don't trigger insecurity and jealousy in people. Don't trigger it at all. We can employ wisdom in whatever we are doing. Oh, I like my this to be this kind of way. Let the person know that this is how you like it. Don't even make reference to that ex, to that person. You can teach this new person how to do that thing that you really like. So it's important that you don't disrupt the good thing that you have going on in your present relationship just because you are looking for a particular thing that used to be in someone from your past. What is my current partner's disposition to this decision that I'm about to make? Can I get an alternative? Okay, now this is what it is. This person is a great business partner. Can I get an alternative? Can anybody else do this for me? Does it have to be this person? Must it be this person? So for instance, maybe you used to work in the same place with this person, and then they put you both in a team that you have to work late, study late together, research. You have to be constantly in your spaces. Okay, now you can, if it's possible, to talk to maybe your HOD that I don't want to be in the same team with this person. You see, when we take steps like this, sometimes people can say, I beg, your own is too much, holy. The truth is, prevention is better than cure. Let's be proactive. Let's not, sometimes we see evil, like I said, we see the appearance of evil and we're like, it's not evil, it's just the appearance. Don't wait around to find out if it's really just the appearance or the evil. It looks like evil, it smells like evil. I just want to stay away from it. Okay, so you want to find, is there another alternative? Must I be in the same team with this person? You're just trying to be safe. You're just trying to be careful. You're trying to be cautious. So if you can talk to probably your HOD that I would prefer to be in another team, they might ask why. You say, maybe for this and that reason. You might not want to really tell them this is why, but then you want to explore other options. Is there an alternative to this? And if after all these questions out. And after all these things I've been saying for the past 25 minutes, you still want to be friends with your ex. I've said my own no. I don't know what to do for you at this point, but like I said, if I find myself in this situation, I will be an idealist. Yeah, I would just stay away. So after 25 minutes, it's a no for me. I don't advise it, but I just had to walk you through why it's a no. I just had to expand your view on this so that you don't just say, because if I had said no, the next question is why. So I just had to walk you through why so that you don't ask why again. This is why it's a no for me. This is why it's not advisable to still keep in touch with your ex. I don't think it's a wise decision. If there's something about them that you love, teach your new partner to do it. Invest in your relationship. You can still make that one a happy one. But then let's say you are not even in a new relationship and you really want to go back to this person. Sit down, think about it, and then come to your conclusion. And if that is what you want, no problem. But then until we meet again, I'm Sophia. Bye.